Yeah, so basically, this performance is what they've gone and done is to benchmark performance. They've done two forms of benchmarking. One is against across standard AI benchmarking metrics, and then another one is they went and got it to go and do a bunch of standardized testing in a variety of different spaces. So they've done everything like the SATs, which is the kind of university entrance exam for the US. They did the LSAT, which is for law school. They did the GRE, which is general masters. So you can use it to go to an MBA, or you could go do it in a Masters of Science or something like that. I don't think they did GMAT, which is the business school one, but then they did art history, biology, and things like that. And it and what they did is they compared GPT-4 to GPT 3.5 and also GPT-4 without any vision. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Elliot, but that's not the ability to ingest any image, is my understanding of it.
Yeah, so when they turn that image mode on, a certain portion, I suppose, of the weights are going to have to be put aside to translate images into meaningful text representations. And that's going to limit your sort of pure text comprehension ability. It's like just, taking out a piece of its brain. And so turning that off means there's more space for just pure text-to-text translation, which most of these exams are going to be.
Yeah, so it's done really, really well on all of these. It outperformed GPT 3.5, and it is now performing at incredibly high levels for some tests. So, for example, the GRE qualitative, which is you kind of like have to think of, and obviously this is perfect for AI, but you have to think of words that could replace that word without changing the sentence, questions like that, or like if given a body of text, how true is this statement about that body of text? Kind of questions like that. It just absolutely crushed it in this with GPT-4. So it's a really good way to show like kind of where it is compared to like humans on a standardized test as well. And I think it's been able to demonstrate some good progress as well since 3.5. And what I find interesting is with vision, it generally outperforms no vision as well. So, which just is another thing that I'm probably going to keep mentioning throughout this episode, which is additional data context just seems to be a really, really exciting next step in the development of AI for me. And if you compare it against the other models, so they compared it, they kind of ranked it as like one summed up metric, but there's different tests. And GPT-4 is the best LLM out there at the moment. So they compared it to Chinchilla, they compared it to GPT 3.5, and I think they compared it to Palm, did they? Or no, not Palm. They compared it to another available metric, and it was the best by far. So, for example, it was hitting 80 percentage points on this, whereas Chinchilla was hitting 67 or something like that from memory. So this is what I've got up on the screen here is kind of a bar chart of the results for comparing GPT-4 and other models with a 3-shot accuracy on the MMLU across different languages. The MMLU is the kind of benchmark for the machine learning models written, and it's benchmarked in English. In terms of accuracy with 3-shot, random guessing gets about 25%. Chinchilla in English, which is the Google model, gets about 67%. Palm in English, it got 69.3%, and GPT 3.5 got 70.1%. GPT-4 then got 85.5% accuracy, which is the best on this chart. So that's 15 percentage points above GPT 3.5 and kind of 17-ish above Google's best. Now, what is interesting as well is they then took these questions that are all in English on the MMLU benchmarking, and they translated all of them into different languages. So they were still the same questions, but they were now in a different language, everything from Italian through to Afrikaans. And they then determined how GPT-4 would perform in these different languages. And what's interesting is that it's most accurate in English, which you can probably expect because that's its probably largest training corpus. But across the top, and they did it across, don't know the exact number, but call it like close to 30 languages. Across the top 20, it goes from 85.5% accuracy with English all the way down to 76.5% in Korean. 76.5% in Korean, and Korean isn't exactly the same alphabet as English. So I think that's just amazing. And obviously, there's questions of how much of this training data was in their training set, etc. It's hard to tell, and like obviously whether once it had performed the test in English, was it then just cheating by doing it in another language, etc. But like, it's just amazing to see that these results held up. Like the delta across 20 different languages was 85. Like the range was 85.5 to 76.5%, including Korean, Turkish, Arabic, Greek, Russian, and Ukrainian, which are all different languages, like different alphabets as well. So very cool to see. I wonder I wonder if it is possible to get 100% accuracy on this stuff, and because the way we're trending, if we're adding 15 percentage points per GPT release, we're going to be getting at 100.5% accuracy next time around.